again, everyone. Barry Hyatt here in Scottsville at the UK Extension Office with my good friend Kelly Burgess, who's going to be talking butternut squash today, I think, right?
Yes, so I think the most popular orange vegetable that we usually think of in October is pumpkins.
That's
true. But I like to switch it up a little bit and kind of broaden the horizons, try some new things.
Sure.
So we are talking butternut squash today.
And what are we making eventually with the butternut squash?
Yes, so these are Butternut Squash Health Bars.
Oh, wow. Okay, good deal.
Sounds like Heath bars. Not a Heath bar, but I think it'll be even better than a Heath bar.
Fantastic. So. All right, well, let's get rocking and rolling here and see what we have to do.
All right, so we have, this is a butternut squash already cut in half.
Okay.
You're probably able to see the seeds. It's kind of like a pumpkin.
It is.
You have to do the same thing and scrape out the seeds. And so I like to just use a spoon and kind of go around this middle section. And it's pretty soft where the seeds are. You can see they just kind of come right out.
Sure.
And you're going to scrape out that pulp or that part of the squash, if you will, before you cut it up. And this is the first step. There will be a couple steps that I'm not going to demonstrate that requires a little bit of work ahead of time.
Okay.
So after you scrape these seeds, the next thing we need to do is to cube the butternut squash.
Okay, sure.
So we will cut it up. I like to put it face down so that you have a nice, solid, stable surface for cutting. It is a winter squash, so it's a little bit harder to cut through than something like a zucchini or a summer squash.
Okay.
So it requires maybe a little bit bigger knife and kind of a steady hand. So
good luck.
Right. So you want to get it. I like to do about 1-inch cubes.
Okay.
And so we are going to be.
It's kind of tough there, isn't it?
It's a little tough. You might want to. You definitely want to have a stable grip on your knife right up to the top.
Right.
And keep your hands out of the way. If you need a little leverage, you can.
Okay, good deal.
But once you have these sections kind of like a rainbow or up to the top, it is more, let's see, it's more solid all the way through. So you'll want to take those sections and cut them, once again, into about 1-inch cubes.
Okay, very good.
What you're going to do with those once you have them cut up is you will put them in a pot of, like a stock pot to cook.
Sure.
And you want to just barely cover it with water.
Okay.
You'll put this to a boil for 20 minutes.
All right.
And so this is the part that we are not going to demonstrate today. We already have some butternut squash that we cooked earlier.
Very good.
And the reason why you have to kind of cook it ahead of time is because it's hot, of course, after it's boiled. And the next step is to put it in a blender or food processor.
Okay.
Now, I've made this mistake once. You do not want to put something hot in a blender or a food processor that has a seal, because when you open it, that steam, it pops open, and you will end up with butternut squash in places that you never imagined that it could be.
So you've done this before.
I have done this before, so we have put it to chill, so there should be no emergencies today, thankfully. So I'm going to put the squash that we've already cooked.
Sure.
It is a bullet, just kind of a smaller blender. I like to use that, especially for small amounts. Less things taken up, less mess.
Yes.
So we're just going to screw this on the top. But like I said, you can use any kind of blender, household thing that you might have. So here we go. We have it in here. It's going to get loud for just a quick second.
We'll be okay with that.
So it blends it up.
It goes pretty fast there, doesn't it? Yeah.
Pretty quick. I like to take it out, give it a little shake.
Okay.
Try it one more time. Get it all blended up. And the good news is we're going to continue to mash this, and so even if it's not perfect the first time, when we mix it up continually, it'll get to that point.
And it's to the point now where we make it so easy to mash anyway.
It's very soft, yes. So Barry, while we're kind of talking through this, I'm going to let you mix up our dry ingredients.
Okay, very good.
I'll go over what we have as you add it.
We want to go with the, I'm guessing this is, are they oats?
Oats, yes, old-fashioned oats.
Okay.
We have also 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour and all-purpose flour, the same amount.
Okay, I'm guessing this would be the whole wheat flour right here.
Yes, it's a little bit finer of a texture.
Sure.
And then we have 1/2 cup of sliced almonds.
Okay.
And we have a teaspoon of baking soda.
Baking soda, okay. And that would be the small one?
Yes, that's the small one.
And that's the regular flour?
All-purpose flour.
Okay, we'll put that in there too. Sure.
And so we're going to mix up our dry ingredients in a bowl. And while Barry's doing that, I'm going to get started on our moist ingredients, which is butter and brown sugar. So we're going to start by creaming these two together in our larger mixing bowl.
Sure.
Kind of have two parts of the puzzle going on at the same time here.
Wouldn't it be nice if you had somebody to help you in the kitchen every time when you were trying to do stuff like this?
It would.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 hands, that's great. I would take that any day. So I'm gonna make it, oops. Well, gotta make sure that our mixer is put together before we start. That's important. I like to kind of mash up before I cream. I like to mash up my butter and my sugar together a little bit to keep it from flying out everywhere.
Right.
I did pick a nice big bowl because that is a problem that's also happened before. So you're gonna cream your butter and sugar. And that is half a cup of butter and 1 cup of brown sugar.
Half a cup of butter and 1 cup of brown sugar.
Yes. So once that's a nice crumbly texture, now's the point where we can add our butternut squash.
Okay, very good.
So we have kind of all of our wet. We also have pumpkin pie spice.
Oh wow! Do I need to put that in here as well?
That's actually going to go with our wet ingredients.
Okay, very good.
Yes. So our pumpkin pie spice. If you've ever tried to buy it at the store like I did, it was really expensive. It's about $5 for a tiny little, thing. And so I thought, you know, we're all about being economical.
We are.
There's better ways to do this. And so I looked up a recipe on how to make your own.
Okay, very good.
So you use cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and ginger.
Okay.
And if you look it up online, you can find a recipe for which proportions to do. So we had all of those things in our pantry already.
Good deal.
So I made our own pumpkin pie spice today.
How cool. Very neat.
And
you feel accomplished today, don't you?
I do. But it's worth it, and especially then you have all of those spices that you can use individually.
Sure.
Later on, you're not limited to the pumpkin pie spice.
Right.
So I like to add where you can make things on your own. It's always helpful.
Did you say how much of the butternut squash that you had in the bowl before you actually ground it up?
I did not say that yet. So our total amount is going to be, when you measure it in the cubed phase. So when it's like this, we want 1.5 cups.
Cup and a half.
And so then it kind of, turns into a slightly different amount as we puree.
Sure.
But that's what we start with. And at this point is where we add our 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice as well.
Okay, very good.
And let that go ahead and kind of flavor with the squash. So I'm going to make it loud, we have one more blending session.
There you go. Go for it.
But we're going to mix the squash in. You can see why now it's helpful to have another set of hands.
Yes.
Because this is a multi-step process.
Yes, it is, actually.
It's not hard. Just a few different little steps to kind of go through.
Most certainly. And it smells great.
It does. I love the smell of those spices.
Most definitely.
All right, Barry, do you want to add our dry ingredients in?
We're going to give it a shot here, Kelly. Okay.
That looks great.
All
okay.
right.
So we blend continue to use the hand mixer.
Okay.
And we'll blend in all of our dry ingredients now that we have our wet.
Yeah.
And it kind of turns, it first looks like it has a crumb texture.
Yes.
But then it does get smooth as you continue to blend.
Okay, very good. If you needed to add a little extra, maybe some type of a liquid if you needed to, what would you put in there? Would you get? Maybe a little water possibly?
A little water, a little milk, or if you had extra squash on hand, if you had already, pureed your whole squash and you needed to put a little more, extra vegetables, extra vitamins, minerals are always a good thing.
Very good.
One thing that I think is interesting that's different about butternut squash from summer squash is that you don't want to eat the skin.
Right.
Because they are grown, it's obviously a little bit cooler this time of year than it is in the summer. That skin is thicker as a protectant to the squash.
Right, sure.
Do you want to help me with one of these maybe?
Sorry about that, yeah.
We'll try and get those out.
You know what, I think you're going to have that.
We might have to use our spatula.
I think so.
There we go. That's a lot better.
Yeah, here you go.
So.
Oh, this one you can.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, it's, like you said, sometimes it's good to have a couple of folks trying to help out because it's not that difficult. It's just, it takes a little bit of work if you want it to be done maybe a little bit faster, possibly.
Right. It's more kind of like cookies. Cookies are great. They just take a little bit of time, a little extra love.
Sure.
That's why you do them with your family, which this is a great recipe to bring in the kids
I was
and
going to
get
say,
them
this would
involved.
even be neat probably for like Thanksgiving or Christmas even, wouldn't it?
It would. Yeah, you get all those flavors. So as you can see, we have a thick batter. It's not something that you can pour.
Right.
It's more of a
Right.
scrape and spread. And
Yes.
so we're gonna put it in our baking dish.
Baking dish,
It's
okay.
already been greased.
Yes.
And we're gonna bake it at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, very good. And then, of course, are you wanting it to get maybe just a little brown at the top?
Yes, just a little brown,
Just a
a
little?
little crispy. That's what we are looking for. And I had to use my spatula to kind of spread this out because it's not gonna spread out on its own. It's a little clumpy. That's okay. Thick is always a good thing.
Oh, sure.
So you
Nothing
just
wrong with
want
that.
to kind of spread it evenly over your pan.
It eventually will work out that way. I mean, it looks a little thicker when you first get it out of the bowl, but then when you get it in here and into the baking dish, it works pretty well, doesn't it?
Right. It's kind of a mix. I was trying to think what I thought the recipe, what do I imagine this to be like ahead of time? And I thought it is kind of a mix between a granola bar and a bar cookie.
Okay.
So kind of the healthy side of a granola bar with maybe the fun side of a bar cookie as
There
far
you
as
go.
how it comes out, how it looks.
Yeah.
We're almost ready to pop this into the oven.
And then again, you said about 20, 25 minutes?
Yes, 20 to 25, kind of take a peek if you know how your oven generally.
Sure.
I'm gonna multitask this
There you
tool.
go.
If it generally runs, a little bit hotter or cooler.
Sure.
There we go. So that looks perfect. We are ready to pop this in the oven.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And then about 20, 25 minutes, and then we're going to have pretty much the final product, but you've got something already to show
Yes.
our viewers, don't you?
So we thought ahead. This was our sample. And the last step is my favorite, probably. We have chocolate. So we melted Hershey Kisses, or not
Yes.
Hershey Kisses,
Just
chocolate chips.
Chocolate, yeah.
Just melt the chocolate chips. You can use a double boiler if you want to melt them on the stove, which a double boiler, you have boiling water underneath.
Okay.
A separate pan on top so that chocolate doesn't singe up right
Right.
next to the heat source.
Sure.
Or you can do it in the microwave. I chose that just because it's a little bit easier.
Faster, yeah.
Put it in a glass measuring cup and do to about 30 seconds at a time.
Sure.
And that way you have a little more control over
And so now we have
how
the
quickly
chocolate
it
drizzle,
melts.
I guess you could call it, right?
Chocolate drizzle, and so I'm gonna see if this pours out. It might not, I might have to drizzle it on my own.
Oh, it's looking
So-
pretty good if you ask me.
This is where you can bring out your artistry and your chocolate drizzling skills.
And this would be considered probably just, I'm guessing a dessert more than it would be anything else. Or would it be considered a snack possibly?
It could be considered a snack. I think so, because it's not a whole lot of chocolate, just kind of enough to get a little treat. But also, I think it could be substituted as a healthier option for a dessert, kind of like I said, if instead of a bar cookie that maybe has a lot more butter and sugar, this has less of those ingredients and more of the vegetables, which is what we want to focus on, especially for plated up Kentucky Proud.
Most certainly.
Butternut squash is in season right now. You can find it at your local farmer's market or
Sure.
at the convenience store.
Yeah, grocery stores,
Yes.
they have them too, sure.
And it is definitely affordable this time of year since they are
Yeah.
in season.
Well, it looks fantastic, and as you mentioned, not that difficult to make, and it's
No.
really doesn't take that much time.
It doesn't, not too long. I think the longest part is boiling your butternut squash and waiting for it to chill. I let it chill for about 15 minutes before I tried to put it in there,
Okay.
just to prevent any kitchen messes. But
There you go. Well, hey guys, if you want the recipe so easy to get, you can get it in a few ways. You can email me at North Central. My email address there is barry.hyatt@nctc.com. Also to our website, it's www.nctc.com. We have a recipe segment there as far as the links to the recipes, the video, etc. And so it's all right there. And Kelly has another way.
yes, you can also search Plate It Up Kentucky Proud. You can find recipes listed by type of vegetable and by season. And we're also on Facebook, so give us a follow for some inspiration on recipes throughout the week.
Fantastic. Well, hey guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Kelly, thank you so much for your time and
Thanks,
for your
Barry.
help. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back here again real soon.